Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers. It's a Smash Brothers podcast that nobody listens to besides like maybe two or three people. I don't really know. We don't really check those numbers because I would get depressed if I did. But hi, I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister, and you will notice, for those of you looking at the video, you'll notice that once again, Jonno was not able to make it. Schedules have been a real problematic as of late. The world is on fire, lives are busy, but I can't do a Smash Dash episode solo because that removes the entire point of the episode. You got to have two people at least talking about characters, debating. They got to vote for which character they would put in, and you can't do that alone. So I pulled him up by the ear. By the chain that's connected to his ear, really, out of the basement, out of the second basement. Curb Walker's in the first basement. Sorry, you got downgraded. Wayofftrail is back for the second
Hello.
time filling in for Jonno. Last time was...
Hello, everyone. I'm the upgraded Jonno.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Which one of you drives me crazy less?
Ooh, that's
Hmm.
hmm.
I feel like no matter what answer I say, I'm getting myself in trouble. So I'm
Yep,
going to say Curb Walker.
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Although he turned me down for filling in for Jonno for this episode. So,
Ooh,
Curb,
how
he's
dare
not
he?
gonna watch this. What do you, come on. Come on. But
To be fair, you barely caught me with my schedule too. So
yeah. And if you had told me no, it's like, all right, I've got two other people like I got a couple people I can try, but like you're my best bet. Because I know you're often just like, yeah, I'll just do something. No set schedule going on in your life, usually.
well, at the end of in May for a teacher. Well.
Well, that means you'll be able to start streaming more often in the next couple weeks.
We'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
oh.
Hopefully, I hope it would be nice.
It would be nice. We haven't done anything together in a
We
long
have
time.
not played anything. Actually, I don't. What was the
Last
last game we
Split
actually
Fiction. We
played
did
together?
Split Fiction like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, is that the last game that we actually played together?
Yeah,
No, we
and
would
then
have done
before,
something for the
well, yeah, I mean, we did like an hour of something for our
right.
game of the
Oh, what the
year, but
fog?
oh
That game
yeah,
was that
we
game
did
was
that.
something.
We did that the same day as our top
Yeah,
10, I think.
yeah, that game was wild.
Yeah. Like we used to do things like fucking nightly or weekly, and then you stopped your first time streaming stopped, and that really put a hamper in things.
Yeah.
And then we kind of ran out of the games that we could do together that weren't
For yeah,
survival or shooter, and now you have a new friend to do
I
all
have a
your survival
survival
games
friend.
with.
Yeah, yeah. Pro tip will join me for survival games. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, really, once you take out the survival games, you kind of don't have many left
It's
that we haven't
survival
played.
or shooter. It's like, oh
Yeah.
goody, these are our options for multiplayer. Fun.
Yeah, and plus, yeah, then my schedule also this year has really, I feel like, increased compared to previous years. So,
Yeah, yeah. Times are tough.
yeah,
Sometimes good, but
yeah,
also tough.
yeah.
But we got you here. It's been, I think, is this season 8 or season 7? This is season 7. It's been 4 seasons since you last had to take Jono's seat. You've been on besides then, I
Mm.
think, probably. But we had to have you on to do a Smash Dash once before, just you and I, and we tailored it to some characters that I knew for sure that you would know. Because
Good
you want to
call.
have a guest to talk about characters that, like, if I had you on to talk about fucking Final
Gino
Fantasy
or some
7,
garbage.
hey,
Oh,
you play Mario RPG.
I have
Like, if I
by
got you on to
force.
talk, yes. If I brought you on to talk about Final Fantasy 7 or fucking Persona 5, you wouldn't know anything. You don't know those
No,
games. There'd be
no, don't know. I know
there'd be
Joker's in
no
Persona 5.
conversation. Yeah, you know
That'd be,
that.
and that's about all I know about that game.
Yeah, you know Persona 4 though. I could get you on for that.
You know Persona 4
You do know Persona 4. Good, very good game. It's good. It's supposed to get a remake soon. TM.
again?
Yeah,
Didn't it have a remake with Golden?
Gold. Yes, but this is gonna be like so. Persona 5, in case you didn't know. They did a remake of Persona 3 with the same artistic style of 5, with all the 3D graphics and like the same kind of
Oh.
models and shading and everything. And almost everything is voiced. 4 is going to get that same treatment.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna take them many, many hours to do because that is a long game.
Not as long as 5.
No, oh boy,
But I have the spreadsheet to prove it.
I believe you do.
Yeah. But we're not talking about either Final Fantasy or Persona for you. Don't worry. You're good. Some of the things I know you really love are going to be coming up today, though. You know our
Yeah.
Smash Dash matchups. I think you like all four of them. Well, I don't know your thoughts on one of them, on one of those characters, but
I think I
I'm
know
pretty
which
sure
one.
you like the three of them for sure. And then we got some five rate their chances characters, like always, to go over first, where we're going to be discussing what we think the actual likelihood is of these characters becoming playable in the next Smash Brothers game. The only rule is you cannot say 0%, you cannot say 100%, because there are no guarantees. You never fucking know. We've had multiple so-called rules that we thought were in place be broken, and Sakurai is also a fucking madman. So, we don't know. So, Wayofftrail, are you ready to begin with our rate their chances for this episode?
I think I am ready to begin.
Okay, well, last time we had you on, one of the characters that we discussed was a character that like extremely unlikely because not only is their game an M-rated game, but they're also a vicious murdering monster, and seeing them go up against characters like Mario, Isabelle, and Pikachu is just not gonna work so much. So we both gave the Trapper from Day by Daylight a very low score. I believe we both just said 1% because, I mean, come on. It's not going to be any better than that. Yeah, I just checked. We did 1%. But I don't have the Trapper for you, but I do have somebody else from Dead by Daylight. Let's chat about the opposite of the Trapper, Dwight Fairfield. What are we
Okay.
thinking about Dwight becoming a playable character in Super Smash Bros.? I mean, Dead by Daylight is still an M-rated game. However,
Yeah.
we have had other characters from M-rated games be in Smash. Snake, Bayonetta. Dwight's not doing any vicious murdering like the Trapper. The game is on the Switch. There are some factors here. And
Right.
the trouble would be like, okay, how well could he function as a character? And I already did that work. I made a move set for him a couple years ago, basing him around perks. That would be his different special moves.
Yeah. He. Uh. First off, because he's on Dead by Daylight, already his scale is on the very low end.
Not true.
That already puts him way down. Um. Dead by Daylight does like to do crossover events, so that isn't unheard of. And if they were going to pick a survivor, it would be him. Um, it'd be him, Meg, Claudette, or Jake are really the main ones. And even then, I feel like they don't include Jake as often.
Not
Of
really.
those,
It's
and even
typically
yeah,
Dwight and Claudette. Like even when they
yeah,
did the dating sim game, Dwight and Claudette were the two hosts of the game.
yeah. And so that would give him odds. Giving him a move set though would be like he's a guy, like I know you did, but he's a guy, and so like eh,
I mean, we have multiple just a guys in Smash. The Villager is a pretty big example. The Wii Fit
true.
Trainer.
That is
Um,
just a guy
and
or
like
gal.
what I did for him was like I picked special moves that were like named for and based around different general perks, because part of the idea is that his costumes, instead of being costumes, you would swap character model to a different survivor.
Oh
So
yeah,
that way you could represent Meg,
multiple.
Claudette, Jake. Like though I wrote down 12, including him. Dwight, Meg, Claudette, Jake, Fung, Min, David King, Zarina, Jonah, Hattie, Vittorio, Renato, and Sable.
I'll say they definitely would add Sable now. They've really started poster
Oh,
childing her.
I mean, you throw a goth girl at the internet,
Yeah, she shows up in every match.
Internet likes them goths.
Um, yeah. This is a weird situation because, like, I'm definitely ranking it low. Um, it's just I don't know if I go how low
I feel like
because again,
it's more likely than Trapper, but we gave Trapper 1%, and honestly, if we could have, we probably would have gone less than 1%.
yeah.
There's
And
just
now,
no
like
fucking chance.
thinking about it though, like, would they even want a Dead by Daylight character if they don't get one of the killers because they're the cooler characters? And I think. Oh, so should I give a percent now, or do you want me to wait?
But no, if you have thoughts, please share your thoughts.
I'm leaning single digits, low end of the single digits. I think I can't give him a one because I gave Trapper a one,
Yeah.
but I think his odds are not much better. And so I think I'm debating between 2 and 3, and I just think it's so unlike. They do like collaborative stuff, but I would think if they were gonna do it, they would like, nah, let's aim for like one of the killers, even though like technically it's a killer. Um, I think I'm getting him a two.
Okay.
I was thinking two
Uh,
or three, and I think I'm leaning toward the two.
no, that's absolutely fair. I was also leaning between somewhere between 2 and 3. Like, I would love to just be like 4. I think 4 is too high. Four
Yeah, I
is
do too. I think it's
way
way
too
too high.
high. I see your point about like killers are kind of like the draw of the game. Whenever people get excited for like new chapters to come out in the game, there's discussion about survivors, sure, but 90% of the discussion is around the killer.
Because the survivors, for the most part, are cosmetic. They're
Yeah,
skin.
they are. They're
Yeah.
skins. They all have the same function, and then you customize with perks, and everybody can have the same perks. But killers, while again you can customize them with the perks that they all share, they all have their own unique powers to them. The plus side to Dwight or any other survivor is that you would be representing less so a specific character and how they work, but how the game itself
Yeah.
plays, which is kind of the route that they took with characters like Steve. Steve's not really a character, not
Right.
not truly. They're representing more how Minecraft is played with Steve's character in Smash, and they've said like a lot with several third party characters. They take that approach like we want to get the feel of how you play that game in this character's moveset. They don't all work that way, and honestly, so it's nice to have a very gimmick free character. Not everything needs to be overly complicated, Steve, but it's every character. There's a different philosophy. Dwight, we would be taking that approach. Like, okay, you filter in flashlights, rummaging through an item chest. My down special is rummaging through a wooden chest to either a flashlight, medkit, or toolbox that you can then use in a different way. The final smash is being chased by a killer and evading them, and everybody else kind of, ooh, they
That's
don't make it.
impressive.
Yeah. So like the characters that get hit in Dwight's final smash, they get caught by the killer while Dwight escapes.
That makes
It's
sense.
I have a whole 2 paragraph
Or you just
description of
like
the
you
enemy.
just see him like hide in a locker, and you just hear all the carnage outside, and then you just
I,
you
I
know.
think I think coming out of the locker is my yeah no that's my entrance animation.
Mm,
He steps out of the locker because come on,
yeah.
it's Dwight. But yeah, 2%, 3%. I think I would probably just go with the 2% as well. It just feels like the most likely answer. More likely than Trapper, but Dead by Daylight getting into Smash is a fucking. I wanted to say a dream syndrome, but like the dream is positive. It's not a
It's a pipe
dream.
dream.
Yeah, pipe
Yeah.
dream. There you go. It's like this is
Yeah.
never gonna happen. I bet they would love it because money.
And
But
Dead by Daylight, like if offered to them, I could see them being like, yes.
oh yeah,
Dead
what
by
com-
Daylight
very
loves
few
collabs.
companies would not jump at getting into Smash. Very
Mhm.
fucking few. Real one knows with an attitude problem. But all right, so that's Dwight. 2% from each of us averages out to 2%. I do not have scores from Jonno. If he wants, last time he was missing, he was able to provide me some scores ahead of time. I do not have those from him this time around. I might get scores from him post recording and then that will make whatever scores we see are our average here inaccurate. But it's fine. Who cares? Nobody's watching us anyways, right? Hi, 3 people that apparently listen to us on Spotify. I don't know
Oh.
how you found us, but hey. Yeah, we
Just saying.
somehow have a Spotify viewership. Not on YouTube,
Well,
but
they
Spotify.
should check out Select Start Gaming on YouTube. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you can watch and listen to us play video games, sometimes together, sometimes not. And when we do play them, sometimes he likes to crush me with an elevator.
It's happened.
Yeah. Fuck you. Next up, I got a character here that I know nothing about. I know very minimal about this guy, but I know you've played their games. So, games, plural, one of them on the channel. What can you tell me? Give me some knowledge here about Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
Oh, Commander Shepard. Okay, Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. So, first off, the Mass Effect series, pretty good. I mean, obviously you have to get past 1, which seems to be the case for most games. Got to get past the first one, and then you forgetting Andromeda exists. But
the
that's
one
not
that's
Commander
on the
Shepard.
channel.
Nah, that's not Commander Shepard in that one.
It's
I don't
it's not.
count.
Oh,
No, that is
that.
a different. That is an entirely different. Different. That's a different thing. So Commander Shepard has a lot of favorite shops on the Citadel. If you did not know, that's not gonna make any reference to you, but it's a joke.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much in the game, you can once you get popular enough, you can pretty much get discounts at stores if you just record them I'm Commander Shepard. This is my favorite store in the Citadel. And so you'll walk by 5 stores and they all say the same bit because you do it for each one to get the discount.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, Commander Shepard, which can be there's male Shep and fem Shep, which is the male character or the female character. They're the same character, just male female. They are your character, and just kind of they're the one that you either start turning kind of on the good side of things and make moral choices, or you kind of have them kind of go the bad side of things and make less moral choices, and you have a meter that goes as you make decisions and stuff. So, and they kind of start to change their look a little bit depending on the route you take. And so, them in Smash is kind of another situation with Dwight. If I was to put a character in from Mass Effect, even though he's the player character, it would not be Commander Shepard.
Is that because player avatar, there's just so much?
The player avatar, personality-wise, is more on the vanilla side.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you're trying to... the characters that you meet and have join your crew are the interesting ones. Mm-hmm. They're the cool alien species that join you. Whether it be an Asari, which is one of the blue lady-looking ones. You have the Quarians, who are the ones that wear the masks, and Tali is the name of the one you get. You get Krogans, which are big, kind of more reptilian-looking. Gosh, all their character names are just leaving my brain as I try to think of them, of who the ones are. We had Garrus. He was he's the his species name. It's been a while since I played these
Turian.
Turian. Oh, he's Turian. What did I say for the last one? Quarian. Turian. Yeah. So. Yeah, you have all these other cool races that you're oh, those would be cool, and I could pick some of them. Solarian, you got a whole bunch. And they would be cool. Liara, the Asari, she would be kind of cool, because she's got kind of pretty cool, strong psionic powers. The Krogan can be he's kind of more brutish. You could do a whole brute build behind him. Commander Shepard could have some of these things. He could have some psionics. He could he'd obviously have probably his gun. Yeah, he. Hmm.
I feel like the
He's
problem a
neat.
lot of times with characters that Avatar or otherwise, because it's just like here's a bunch of different weapons, here's a bunch of different skill trees and abilities. It's just like,
Yeah.
how do you narrow them down? Similarly, what's the franchise? Elder Scrolls, the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
How do you fucking narrow that down? There's just so much to go with.
Right.
Cyberpunk, fucking any of the FromSoft games, the Dark Souls type games. How do you narrow them down? Then it makes those characters really difficult to conceptualize because unless you go with a specific build, which
Hmm.
then runs the risk of not necessarily
Not
upsetting people, but like
right because it wasn't what they played.
canonizing, yeah,
Right. Yeah. 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 And that's
it's
kind of where
rough.
I'm leaning. That's kind of what I'm leaning too. Do you go like the more evil version of Commander Shepard,
Hmm.
or do you go with the more positive one? Like so. I would. Hmm, I don't think they would much go into Smash overall.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. I haven't. Mass Effect doesn't. The company that makes it, which name is
BioWare.
escape. Bioware. Thank you. They don't do a ton of collaboration. At least Mass Effect hasn't that I'm aware of. Um, Specifically Mass Effect. Uh,
Mass
I,
Effect
I
3
could see.
was on the Wii U.
Okay. I could see. I could see a chance for a character from Mass Effect games
Hmm.
in Smash as eventually an option. So that already boosts them up past our DBD ones. Now, then it becomes the okay, but would it be Commander Shepard? And I don't think it would.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I would give again pretty low, mostly just for those main reasons. Probably better than Dwight. Still, I'm gonna go a
Okay.
5% chance for Commander Shepard.
5% works.
Yeah,
As for me, again, it's hard to judge because like I've never masked an effect.
right.
I'll say
Should really
something
get on that.
similar with another character later on,
The story
but
though, the story in those games is great.
that's what I hear. Just unfortunately, like anything that is like big shooter based, just like I'm just I don't have fun
Hmm.
with because I suck and
Right.
it drains my fun meter. I think that you could do some. I don't know how it would work mechanically, but I don't. I wonder if you could do something interesting with Shepard, with like having the good and evil gauge, like depending
Right.
on your actions, what attacks you're using, you'll slide one way or another. Maybe like unlock stronger versions or alternate versions of some attacks. I don't know if that's even remotely similar to how some things work. I'm not check with your abilities. Like I don't know. It's like is there a good version of attack A and a bad version of attack A? I don't know. I just do not have that information. Um,
By the way, I just want to point out I looked it up because I was curious.
mhm.
Mass Effect Trilogy features an easy mode, primarily
Oh,
referred to as casual across the series. Combat is significantly simplified, allowing players to focus more on the narrative and character choices.
and what is that released on?
Oh God, Mass Effect. I'm pretty confident it's on Steam. I'll look while you figure out your stuff.
I feel like the argument of like would he be the character chosen to represent Mass Effect? I kind of feel like he has to be purely because like he is the character, and it's very rare. I don't know if
Why?
Smash ever not had the main character of a game be the first character represented in Smash. I don't think it has, unless I'm very much forgetting someone.
It is on Steam.
Hmm. Is it on PS4, PS5 though?
I don't have that available to look.
Wow, wow. But even with thinking like I'm more positive on him being the particular one. It is on PS4. Oh no, that says that's Legendary Edition. That's not what I searched for. Fucking internet.
Well,
Oh,
the
I guess.
Legendary Edition contains all three.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on PS4. Um, but with everything else with him, it's been a while since their last game. The last game wasn't received too well.
Yeah, the last game was not.
And I think BioWare themselves have just been having issues the last several years because they're Dragon Age as well, right?
That
Yeah, they
sounds
are. And
correct.
the last Dragon Age game also was not well received. So yeah, it's kind of issue there. They're also part of EA, and EA's whole bullshit. Would Nintendo even want to touch that with a 5 foot pole? Questions.
Yeah, EA helps it out, to be fair.
Really, you think EA helps?
I think a little.
I think EA lowers the odds.
Oh, really? All right.
I mean, they're not a good company. They tend to rank at the bottom whenever fans are like, "All right, what's the shittiest company of the year?" EA is always one of the shittiest companies.
Oh, that's fair.
They have had competition in recent years, though. Hello, Embracer Group and Crafton. Actually,
Oh,
sorry
oh
to
yeah.
say,
No one likes crafted. Hey,
yeah.
I'm excited though, and you know why?
Because it's out or like early access or something.
Yeah, but crafted also got the boot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually considered if I could throw in a Subnautica character on here. I was like, there's not really a
There's not really a
there's
Subnautica
not
character
yeah. I
though.
was like, I mean I could bullshit it, but yeah, maybe next time we have you for to replace Jonno, we'll just slide that in.
God, I'm so excited to play that game.
But I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go ahead. I was thinking 5%. I was debating like 4 or 5 for
Hmm.
Shepard, maybe up to like 6 or 7. I was like, game series isn't super active. Avatar character, there's a lot of options to choose from for him. Yay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you heard some of my thoughts on it, so that probably helped
Yeah.
because it's a game you don't know.
Yeah. Now this next one, I believe you played the game that this character originated in. But if you haven't, I know you've played a game that has them, but I don't know if you played the DLC that features them.
Oh,
So, from Pokemon,
all
I
right, you got
I
me
I,
so far.
I did a random number generator to determine which Pokemon would be talked about, and it gave me a good one actually. What do you think about Ursaluna?
I did play Arceus, by the way.
With also keeping in mind it does have the Blood Moon form from the Sword and Shield DLC.
Ooh, that's right.
Or no, not Sword and Shield DLC,
Ah,
Scarlet and Violet DLC.
yes. Ooh, Ursa Luna. First off, is sick.
Oh
That is a
yeah.
cool. Especially Blood Moon. Like, okay, Ursa Luna itself, Blood Moon, sick.
Yes.
Um, so first off, Pokemon already has a that already brings us up a bit.
Yeah.
That brings the we are now no longer in the single digits. I think just for that fact. Um, Ursaluna is pretty cool. But would they be like, it's cool enough to add into the roster versus or to bring it up to the competitive stance of, your Lucarios, your Mewtwo's, your starters, which already, starters are gonna have way better odds. And Incineroar, Charizard, I have so many Pichu. But like, yeah, but would Ursaluna make that cut into it? Part of me kind of leans like, if it was to have got into Smash, its time has passed. Because it's no longer the newest thing anymore. It's no longer the newest gen. It would have been from Scarlet Violet if we were to, if the game was to come out now. I think they would try to tie in either something from the first 3 gens or a new character. Because I feel like the first 3 gens are kind of the ones people tend to know, and they tend to lean toward those to begin with. Ursaluna being in a what do they call it? He was featured in a not canon
Mainline? Arceus is
mainline.
considered mainline.
Yeah, but a lot of people like don't. I feel like don't technically. I don't know.
We do know that the Pokemon Company and Game Freak both do consider the Legends games mainline games, but
Mm,
we have seen that in their documents.
mm. Yeah, Ursaluna would be pretty sick.
It would
I
fit
think
a
it could be
different
cool.
role than what we currently have with Pokemon. Kind of similar, like Lucario, maybe, but slower. And then kind of in there with Charizard, but not on a Pokemon trainer mechanic.
Right.
Uh, it is connected to early gens, being the evolution of Ursa Ring. It's not the evolution of Ursaluna. That makes no sense.
Right.
Uh, Originally debuted in Pokemon Legends Arceus as one of the five Pokemon that you could ride and use their abilities going across the region. Although it had the most useless ability of sniffing the
Oh
ground
God,
for
it was
items.
terrible.
Ugh.
Terrible. I
Um,
hated its ability.
and then it got a new form, kind of randomly. Nobody expected
Mm,
it in Scarlet and Violet's first DLC for Kitakami
yeah.
Island with the Blood Moon Ursaluna. What makes an Ursaluna Blood Moon? We don't fucking know. And
Mm-mm.
regular Ursaluna is not. You can't get it in the game. This is the only. This is the only Ursaluna in the game. We don't really
Mm.
know what the deal is with Blood Moon.
True. I forgot it did. Uh, Technically, like almost release in Scarlet Violet. I
Hmm.
kind of forgot about that. I
Yeah.
thought Blood Moon was actually in Legends Arceus, but no, now that you mention it, yeah.
No. That said, your argument about it not being the most recent gen anymore is still technically true, because Gen 10 is on the way. At time of recording, well, actually no, at time of recording, this is 3 days before I upload, 2 days before I upload. I'm in a panic. Ha.
Right.
All we know are the three starters and a little bit about the region
Yeah,
for
and
Gen 10.
so and that is another so it kind of I defeated my own argument. Now going back to it, yeah, I think they would be like, let's advertise a new guy, you know.
Mm-hmm. And while we don't know if a new Smash Kid Brothers game is on the way, it's a pretty safe bet because Kirby Air Ride is released, and while some people think that Sakurai demanded he let them make it before he made the next Smash, that's not the truth. We know that he, it was, I think it was his idea, or they came to him. No, that's what, no. They came to him wanting an Air Ride sequel. But I think most of us have a safe bet on once that game was done, new Smash got started recording worked on. We are now in the longest time gap in between Smash releases that we've ever had. Nintendo is gonna want that for the new console. It's got to be in production, and Sakurai has been very open about the fact that for previous Smash games, when it comes to Pokemon, he has left open a slot for new Pokemon here. Greninja was picked based on concept art alone. Incineroar, pretty much the same deal. We have never, outside the Pokemon trainer in Brawl, we have never gone back to previous generations when it comes to picking a new Pokemon fighter for Smash. Which honestly I think is a real fucking shame. Like, yeah, advertise the newest game with a pick from it, sure. But there are still older generations that have had nothing. You talk about Gen 3 and how Gen 3 is one of the ones that people know. We don't have a Gen 3 fighter in Smash. Gen 3 was the first one to get skipped. Gen 3, 5, 8 and 9, well, 8 and 9 released after Smash Ultimate, but 3 and 5 have no fighters. And if we just skip the Gen 10 for the next game, 8 and 9 are joining that ranks, which is a shame because both of them have some good designs. Toxtricity, Tinkaton, oh, would love it. Ursaluna, they could go back to. I mean,
Hmm.
it is technically only one gen old with the Scarlet Violet and DLC. Being a ground normal type that is new ground for Pokemon, because we don't have any ground types or normal types to be on the roster, though they probably don't necessarily look at that. But
Yeah, probably not too much.
yeah, and while in starters are always an easy choice, if they did another fire starter, I think people would go like, "What the fuck? Stop it!
Right.
It's grass or nothing." But we don't know what Brout's going to become, and maybe it won't work out so well because sometimes a starter isn't really going to fit as a fighter in Smash. Primarina? would
Yeah,
not work as a
Skeledirge.
fighter. Yeah,
Not too bad.
Skeledirge, absolutely not. Superior would be pretty difficult. Torterra? Nope.
No.
No shot. Ursaluna, they could do both how Blood Moon is on its foreleg or is on its back legs for standing upright, or how its base form is on all fours. Maybe going back and forth between them for some different attacks. I think there's some interesting stuff there. The problem is just Gen 10 is coming,
You're right.
and that lowers it. I don't think we're single digits low,
No.
but we're definitely
I'm
under 50 easily.
I am barely into the double digits, I think.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm leaning like 10. I'm like
Okay.
just at 10 because of the pretty much everything we said, just the not newest gen, but it is a Pokemon. That
Yeah.
is and it's a
one that
decent
stands
Pokemon.
out.
You're right. It is a decent Pokemon. So I'm putting it in the 10%, but I won't want to go much higher because I feel like there's just either other options that they would take, or it would be something new.
And that's the even harder thing about Pokemon. Not the most recent gen. There are 1,025 of these fuckers.
Right.
Now, would all of them work as fighters in Smash? No. Magikarp.
Heck no.
Ghastly
I mean,
would not work.
Splash.
Gengar could. Ghastly? No.
Gengar would be sick.
I think Ursaluna is in the upper half of viable options for
I'd agree with that.
fighters.
I'd
I
agree
think
with
it's in the upper half of ones for the last 2 generations.
Especially when you add the Blood Moon part, then
Yeah.
that jumps it up quite a bit.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Pokemon that like just would not work very well. Veluza, Tadbulb, what's another one? Clobopus. I don't really see Clobopus working.
Grapple locked.
Grapplocked, yes, which is why I said Clobopus. It's like,
Right.
I don't see that one working out.
Flamigo. Just a
Honestly,
Flamingo. Wouldn't be the worst, but
it would not be the worst.
I
could
you
see
know who
something.
they might do? Palafin hero form.
Hey, you want to look at an episode we did last year where we made a Palafin moveset? And also a
thinking about it,
Tandem
like-
Mouse moveset? Yeah, we did both of those guys.
Just thinking, I'm like, if they were to choose one, they might try to go that route too.
Mm-hmm.
But
actually, no, that was 2 seasons ago, now that I think about it. God damn.
yikes, you're old.
Oy, yeah, I know. But we did that. So I think Ursaluna is certainly possible. But just I'm kind of tempted to just be like, at some point, count out all the Pokemon that I think have even the barest shot of becoming playable. And just be like, right, that's the math instead of 1,025. It's 280 or whatever.
Right.
But for Ursaluna, I'm not going to go too much higher than you, but I'm going to go a little bit higher. You said 10. I'm going to say 12%.
Which averages to, I think, I'm not great at math, but I'm going to go with 11.
Surprisingly, you're actually correct. I know you're
I
a
was about to say-
science guy, not a math guy.
I was waiting for you to say
but
no, actually 11.5 because mine is more than yours or something, you know?
I thought about saying that, actually. I thought about it. So this next character is one that, again, I know very little about. I know they exist. I know their game is a space horror. But I know you know them.
Oh, no.
Because you've recorded this game.
I think I know
in your
what game it is.
early career on Select Start Gaming. So I'm hoping you can help me out here and give me a little knowledge, give me a little set the stage here for Isaac Clarke of Dead Space.
Yeah, I played that game. I played one of those games. Just
Doesn't
one.
sound like it was positive.
I mean, I'm not the greatest with horror games. And that one was scary. But I did finish it. Now, where do we start here? Okay. So Isaac Clarke is gonna have a very similar vibe to Commander Shepard. Except whereas Commander Shepard kind of had like their own dialogue and did their own things, had decisions. Isaac Clarke doesn't have those. Like, a personality? Not really. he he had someone he liked, and
Had.
that was kind of about it. But and he's just kind of as someone trying to survive. He's very vanilla. And horror game. So his odds, not great. However, he is just a big known character. Like across the gaming universe, I would say he's a pretty well known, and I would say he's kind of an icon a little bit for game characters. He just isn't.
He's kind of the space horror icon.
Yeah, and he's like people see his like mask and they're like, "Oh, I know what that game is." Ooh, in Smash, I would lean not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going low again, and let's see, horror game. Who is? I gotta do a little research here for Dead Space here.
While you're doing that, some other information to bring up about Dead Space and Isaac Clarke.
Why is Dead Space $60?
Because it got a remake.
Ah.
And it apparently did very well. It was well received. So it got brought back into the hive mind back in 2023. On top of that, Isaac, looking up his capabilities, unlike Commander Shepard, who has a wide variety of things, Isaac is a lot more focused and contained. And he's got technology that lets him do fucking time dilation and also a little bit of gravity manipulation.
Yeah, he could have some cool abilities.
So yeah, there's definitely some interesting things that they could pull from to make a moveset for him. In fact, not only does he have interesting potential for a moveset, but he's actually already in a fighting game. Isaac Clarke was one of the 4 DLC characters for a little game called PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
I think I remember hearing something about that.
PlayStation Smash Brothers game.
Okay.
So, the potential is absolutely there.
I have a question because I don't know anything about the PlayStation one.
Sure.
Are there any characters that actually share between both those fighting games, Smash and that?
No. This game released on the PS3 shortly after Brawl, I believe. There are a few franchises that are shared. Actually, I think just one at the time. Raiden, representing Metal Gear Solid, instead of Solid Snake, who was in Smash Bros. Brawl. And then it also has Tekken, being represented by Heihachi Mishima, who in Smash's Tekken is instead represented by what's his name? Kazuya Mishima, with Sakurai even mentioning that Heihachi is like the main guy, but Kazuya can do everything Heihachi can do plus more, which is why they went Kazuya. Sony, I think we don't know for sure, but it would not surprise me if Sony's directive for PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale at the time was, you cannot use Snake because Smash used Snake and we refuse to do that. Mm-hmm. But we do not have confirmation. Plus, that game already has several other guns and military characters that Snake would have been just like one in several. They've already got Killzone, you've got Uncharted, you've got Jack and Daxter has guns as well.
So it is an EA game.
Mm-hmm.
So that does play a factor. I want to give him definitely better odds than Dead by Daylight. Definitely not as good of odds as Pokemon. He has cool abilities, and he could have cool abilities, and he was in a fighting game.
A Smash-like fighting game.
A Smash-like fighting game, but I'm leaning somewhere between like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to do the hand motion.
I don't know.
I teach middle school, so it's something I hear literally all the time.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I gave Dwight 5. No, who did I give 5 to? No one.
No, you did. You gave 5 to
So,
Commander Shepard.
oh, I think he's got better odds than Commander Shepard.
I agree.
7%.
I think definitely above Commander Shepard because he's more focused. He's had a well-received recent remake. So hypothetically, if Sakurai was making the roster like a year ago and saw like, what were things that had released? What are some big things that we could do for advertising non-Nintendo things? That's a recent one that they could pull from. What was it in Space? I don't think it would have been on Switch. I highly doubt it. I just want to double check that, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah, it was not because technically Cloud Strife, the only game he had been on Nintendo wise before getting to Smash was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance. Does that count? Shortly after he was announced, they did put Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch. So them not having a game on Nintendo console isn't necessarily a deal breaker like we used to think it was. I do think definitely higher than Shepard. I would think about possibly higher than Ursaluna. Because like lower than Pokemon in general, obviously, because a Pokemon is guaranteed. Which Pokemon? That's when you get into some tough questions. But also, much like how there's a sea of Pokemon, there's a sea of third parties. There's a sea of shooter, mature looking characters. And why would you pick him when you got like Master Chief or Doom Guy? When it comes to characters that have guns and armor, those are the two I'm going to look at first. I know that much. Uh, what number did you say?
7.
7. I'm feeling. Hmm. The number I keep thinking about is 8. I'm going to say 8%.
Okay.
Averaging out to 7.5.
That makes
So
sense.
we've got one more character, and this character is kind of cheating. They kind of break the mold a little bit here because technically speaking, their franchise is not originally a video game, but it is a game, and they are originally a game character, and like their sub franchise is definitely a video game franchise. But let's just roll with this and see what we think about Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. Starion.
I wanted to do
Okay.
Shadowheart, but I was like, let's talk about Asterion. I think that might be a little bit more interesting. But he's not my
Yeah,
favorite.
I like him. All right. I don't know if he's my favorite, but I do like him.
Yeah, I think he
Um,
would. I think he would fit better than probably the
yeah,
rest of the playable
he's
characters.
also, I mean, he may not be my favorite, but he ranks up there for, I think,
Very
most
popular.
people's favorites.
Yeah.
First off, the voice actor would totally be down, I think,
Oh God,
to
he
do
does
anything.
so much.
Yeah. He'd be down. He'd be like, yeah, of course, I'm in. Um, wow. So he kind of became the face of Baldur's Gate 3, which gives him a big shot. Baldur's Gate 3 also became such a huge game. So he's looking good. Now, the thing is, again, kind of a more grungy, not as cartoony game. More, kind of. It's rated R, right? It has to be.
M actually, R is for
Um,
movies.
right. Larian Studios. Larian. I don't know much about their company, but I don't.
The big known for Divinity.
Right, but I was more like collaborative stuff. I could see them being collaborative.
I mean, they somehow got this game to be made when Wizards of the Coast is volatile,
Right.
which is going to
Um.
hurt their chances. But It's like we just got the other day, maybe it was today. We
Oh,
learned that a D&D 3D action adventure game just got canceled,
oh.
and it's because Wizards is doing restructuring.
Yeah, and of course they are. Um, getting wizards, D&D and stuff like. I mean, Dead by Daylight got a D&D crossover.
They got Vecna as a killer and two
Right.
original Bard characters to be
Right.
survivors.
Right. Hmm.
It's like technically speaking, Asterion should be a 0, but he kind of. I think Baldur's Gate 3 kind of rides a gray line, similar
Right.
to I found out The Witcher is actually originally a book. It's like, oh, I get because like, but nobody thinks about that. They just think about the games. Like I feel like The Witcher is kind of a gray line. And Jonno once pitched me Agumon, and I was like, "What? No, Digimon's a fucking anime. That's not originally a video game." But he was like, "Ah, actually, it was originally a digital pet toy," which then made me think, "Well, shit. Technically, by that standards, the Game and Watch series technically was like in that same realm as a digital pet toy." And
Right.
if Game and Watch is eligible, Agumon is eligible.
Yeah.
There are some things that ride a weird gray line.
I
Persona. Shin Megami Tensei was originally a fucking book.
I could see Astarion actually in Smash, weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the crossover. He's just got some legality questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, technically should be a 0, but we can't do that.
But we got
Uh,
Sora.
so I think he would. I think he's gonna be my highest so far today. Um,
Ooh, interesting.
yeah, because if they were to decide to do Baldur's Gate,
Mm-hmm.
which and they got it approved, whatever, he would be the character. He also has cool move. Like he could do some cool things. Because he's got his rogue abilities, and then he's also got his vampire stuff.
Yep.
Plus any other cool D&D things you want to throw in there. Because that's another one where you can't really do your player character because it can be
Yeah. No,
literally
you could
anything.
not do Tav.
Um, I mean, you could really do any of the characters, but it's either going to be him or Karlach, in my opinion.
Well, I was thinking him or Shadowheart.
Mm,
Like those two feel like the two faces of the game for me.
yeah,
Partly Shadowheart because like she's the first one you meet, and she's also your
right.
cleric. So yeah, unless somebody made themselves be a cleric with their custom character, you usually keep a healer with you.
Yeah. I think he's got better odds. I think
Agreed.
I'm not gonna give him much better than Ursa Luna. I'm leaning at like a 12.
Okay.
12%. I think that's the highest I'm willing to go for him. And I think I'm being generous, to be fair. I'm being a little generous. Mostly because if they got that crossover, that's the one they would pick. So that's why
I
I go 12.
agree. I think getting the crossover would be the hard
Yeah.
part because not only would we need to go to Larian, which I don't think Larian would have a problem at all. The problem is Wizards of the Coast, and well, hmm.
But we know they've done it before.
They have. They've done crossover with D&D, obviously with Baldur's Gate, with Dead by Daylight. Though they again did recently cancel the game, but also I just remembered there's another side to the coast that does a lot of crossovers. Magic: The Gathering.
Yeah.
Now, how much crossover is there between the executives for the Magic: The Gathering team and the D&D team? No idea. But theoretically, Magic has had a fuck ton of crossover between Final Fantasy, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, I those are the main ones I really know of. I don't Magic: The Gathering. Sorry. I don't Dead the Space either. I forgot to say that earlier. But there is technically, I mean, Nintendo hasn't done anything with Magic because Nintendo is very close to the chest with all of their IP. It is a rarity that somebody outside of their box gets to play with one of their toys. It happens. just not often. But Nintendo has also talked about how they want to expand, get more people into their IP, which is why the movies are happening. It's possible they could do a Magic crossover, which could then lead to a D&D. Who knows? And if you're going to get a D&D character, even outside of Baldur's Gate, I mean, I think Baldur's Gate is really the only known video game franchise that they have. Like, there are non-Baldur's Gate games, but when you think of D&D video games, you think of Baldur's Gate. I don't know if Drizzt is in any games. He's like the most popular D&D character, so maybe that if he has a game. But out of the Baldur's Gate cast, yeah, Astarion is definitely the choice. I was originally going to put Shadowheart in for this episode, but then I thought about it. I was like, no, I think Astarion has more unique qualities to him because Shadowheart mechanically is just a cleric. Astarion mechanically is a rogue and a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That adds some stuff because one of his moves can be latching on, biting somebody, and then regaining some health. That adds an extra little thing. He's got that. He can do his rogue weaponry, his other rogue skills. Sneak attack does more damage to opponents from the back. Easy. So done. He's got spells as well. He's got Firebolt. So you can toss that out. But Wizard of the Coast is the problem. They are the big issue. And then also just like is D&D like are they going to be like the is that close enough to a video game origin? Because technically Shin Megami Tensei, which is what Persona spun off of, was originally a fucking book. Which surprised me to eventually learn. It's like, oh shit, the first game is based on the book. It's like, huh, okay. There are some weird gray areas with some games. Even without the wizard's weirdness, though, I don't think I would put Astarion super high. But I do think there's some interesting things that you could do with him. You said 12?
Yep.
You said 12. I don't think I can go up to 12. Because I'm hung up a lot on the Wizards of the Coast thing and the D&D part of that. I'm leaning... This is assuming the D&D part is taken out of the equation that he's legal. I think I'm trying to compare them to the characters that I've already done this episode, and Isaac Clarke is tripping me up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to say 8% as well, just because I can't figure out comparing him to Isaac Clarke. I was debating between like maybe 10%, but I was like, I feel like Isaac is more likely. So I think I'll go with 8, and then that will average out to 9.5, I think. No, it averages 10. I'm stupid.
10. Yeah.
That's fine. That'll work for me. I'm good with that. And there it is. We did our 5 rate their chances. Dwight, Commander Shepard, Ursa Luna, Isaac Clarke, and Astarion. No last name here. No. He doesn't get one. Just like how I don't get water, apparently, because I didn't refill before we started. Sucks to be me.
Fool.
Oh, well. But now that that's done, we can get to the actual meat of what this episode is named for. You excited?
Oh, yeah.
So, with the next 4 characters, you actually know what the lineup is, because we always tell the guests who's going to be the Smasher Dash characters of the episode, because that's the thing that you might actually need to do some research for ahead of time to discuss. The rate their chances are kind of, hey, here's a little bonus. We have to leave a little mystery, because it's kind of, who cares? But for our smash or dash characters, unlike greater chances where we're talking about what we think is the actual likelihood, for smash or dash, it's all about what we want, who we want to see out of the pairs, or sometimes who we have to pick when we don't want either. Before we can reveal that, though, we need to talk about a couple episodes ago. We had a tie between two characters, and we forgot to reveal that tie in the last Smash Dash we did. So, whoops. But we've got it now. So, two Smash Dashes ago, we did a Fire Emblem villain battle royale. Four big villains from the franchise. We picked the Black Knight as one of our two. But then we were tied between Leon, the dark mage who gets possessed by the demon Fomortis, or Arvis, the fire mage from Thracia 776. I think it was Thracia. Might be genealogy. Maybe both. Wayofftrail doesn't know either of these.
Nope.
But the winning character ended up being a blowout from the small voting pool that we had for Leon. So Leon will be joining the Smash or Dash tournament at the end of the season, where we pick out which character of all of our winners this season is our ultimate choice.
Congratulations, Leon. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, he got issues.
I have no idea who this
poor
is.
Guy.
No idea.
No, I knew you wouldn't. But you know who all four of our characters are this episode. In fact, you know all of them better than I do. Two of them I don't know at all.
Yeah, I think I know which two.
You should.
Is it one from each matchup?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know it's two then.
It's not a crazy thing at all. So I have some wikis open, so I can look some things up, but you're gonna be carrying a bit of a bulk of this here, talking about things. So to start off, let's just get like a small primer. Not going into big details, but like a small primer on our first contestant, Lilith, from the Borderlands series and playable character in Borderlands 1, the Firehawk.
All right, Lilith. A little quick overview. Like you said, in Borderlands, she is the Siren character from the first game, and then she becomes the Firehawk for the second, where she kind of takes more of a role of the guide you through the game. She kind of becomes your main contact point for the rest of the game. 3, I feel like she's in 3.
She's looking for new recruits in 3.
Yes. And then I heard she's also in 4. So she's been in all of the Borderlands games. So she, is relatively big in the Borderlands universe. Whereas the other, so from the first game, the other 3
Brick,
player,
Mordecai, Roland?
and Roland.
Yeah.
Roland's odds, I would say, are lessened. Spoiler, he did. And Mordecai and Brick did take on also a little bit of roles for the second game of
so did Roland.
Roland did too. But I mean, until
yeah.
But both of them, all 3 of them were also characters in it. Their levels were not as involved, I feel like, compared to Lilith. Brick, I would say, was even... Brick was probably one of the lowest. He was the character I played in the first game. Then, in the second one, and for some reason, I'm blanking on literally everything about 3. Is that because
we never finished.
Tried to play?
Yeah, we tried recording it twice, but we had to stop twice early on. So
yeah, because we
never got
issues
too far.
with people playing with us. So
yeah,
we probably should have to play that one, me and you, and then just be good.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, so I know she was in it. I can't remember much of her role in it.
I know from I'm not going to say spoilers because I know you're not going to be spoilers, but I'm reading some stuff on her for Borderlands 3, and she is part of the plot for sure.
Yeah, and I assume part of the plot in 4. Yeah, we were. But
her page lists her page on the wiki says Borderlands 4. This section is a stub. Yeah, there's no information. It's like, okay, all right, fine.
So they know she's in it, but nothing Nothing too much. She is from what I remember, because I think I only played through the original Borderlands once, and I played as Brick. And so I never played as her, but I have played as Siren in the second game, because I played through pretty much every character.
And my
But
character for 3 was going to be the Siren.
yeah, and then everything just. But and I remember the Siren being relatively good in the second one. I believe it ranked pretty high on the list of the characters. So she would have cool abilities as the Firehawk. She could do her psychic power, or I forget what they're called, siren powers. She could do a whole bunch of slew of things with that. So a move set for her, pretty easy. Yeah, and if I was to pick someone from the Borderlands franchise, either her
or Claptrap.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think they would pick Claptrap over her just because of Claptrap and who Claptrap is. And let's be honest, it would be kind of fun to either beat up people as the little robot dude or beat up the little robot dude. Yeah, he deserves it. So,
hard agree.
I mean,
like I debated which one I wanted to do for this episode, but I felt like Lilith would pair better against her opponent than Claptrap would. And also, fuck Claptrap. Hello, Kitty.
My kitty has joined
him right there.
Yeah, my kitty has joined the conversation.
Joined the fray, as it is.
Yeah.
New
challenger approaches.
Yes. But I think I've actually thought about a Lilith moveset before. I haven't gone down and written it down, but I've had a few ideas of things that she could do. Because we've seen her with fire related powers. She's got the psychic powers. There's also guns and guns and guns and guns and guns and guns and guns. So there's definitely material to work with Lilith.
And it feels like they also gave her, I know she had abilities in the original game. We never played. I didn't even have, me and the person who I played it with didn't even have her as we didn't play as her. But so you have her abilities there, and I feel like they gave her more abilities, as story wise for the other games. Yeah. So you have those options as well.
Exactly. Now, as for Lilith's opponent, I am vaguely aware of the franchise. You have played several games of the franchise. In fact, episode 1 of this Let's Play just went up either today or within the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be true.
Yeah, which is why I chose this character and not a different one for the same franchise. You may have to help me pronunciation here, but I believe it's Basim Ishak?
Basim.
Thank you.
Basim. Now his last name, I'm gonna guess Ibn Ishak. I don't fully recall. They don't say his last name a ton, I feel like. So Basim is from Assassin's Creed Mirage. Well. He's actually
playable in Mirage.
Yes, he didn't actually first appear in Mirage. He first appeared in Valhalla, I believe.
I think it was even earlier than that.
Might have been.
Rebellion. Oh no, it says first appearance Valhalla, but first appearance Rebellion. Oh, because Rebellion's weird.
Rebellion might be
it's a mobile free to play. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, so Valhalla was his but the thing is, he was when you meet him, he's in our time. Yeah, he's in our time, so he's kind of in the overarching story. He's in that part of it, the our time of it. And then he is in a Mirage, you actually get to see his life back in the Middle East, where what year was that roughly? In Iran.
844.
844.
Is when he was born.
Yes. And he's in today's day and age.
So are they fucking pulling another Odyssey?
Yes and no. So there are ways. So there are In Assassin's Creed, there are artifacts that do really powerful things. One of them that Cassandra had lets you live for freaking ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he, I forget how he managed to stay alive. I think he got that thing from her. I'm trying to remember, but I honestly don't recall how he managed to stay alive. I'm trying to read real quick.
Oh, apparently he was trapped in some other
Trapped.
realm.
That's
Something
right.
called
He
the
was trapped.
Gray, because he wanted to kill Ivor, apparently.
Yep, that's right. He was trapped.
Huh.
And then he came back in around 2020 and contacted the assassins. But yes, he's an assassin. He's also not necessarily a good guy. Um, he's kind of a villain. So keep that in mind when ranking his odds. Because he kind of betrays a little bit. So yeah, he's something. Um, yeah, plagued. He became an assassin because of kind of was who saved him and kind of what his only option kind of was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of mostly about him.
Okay. So we've got two characters here. We have Lilith, who can do. We can dive deeper onto each of their things. But at her core, Lilith has fire, psychic abilities, and guns. Basim, right? Basim?
Mm-hmm.
Basim. Okay, good.
Basim.
Basim. Okay.
Basim.
Pronunciation is important. Assassin's
Basim.
assassin. They have
Basim, I think. Sorry.
they have certain things that it's kind of universal across the franchise. They may not always have the same tools, but they more or less have like very similar movements. He's got his own. He's got like two blades. It looks like at least at some point in the game. He's got a longer
His
sword and a dagger he's wielding.
I felt like his move set was kind of very vanilla for Assassin's Creed.
Hmm. I mean, it's
Like I
back to
didn't.
like the old style, isn't it? Like
Uh,
not being like a big RPG like Origins,
yeah,
Odyssey, and Valhalla were.
yeah, definitely did not take as long to get through. Not even
Yeah,
close.
I think it's
Yeah,
because
and
they're
he
doing some of
really,
the smaller games again, and not just they're all like
yeah,
huge ones.
yeah, and he, yeah, felt more like the older ones where it was like, this is just the new character, that has similar vibe to the previous guy, just different setting. Um, I would give him that. I wouldn't give him anything like, uh, any newer, very out there abilities compared to the others.
He's got. It looks like he has the normal hidden blade,
Yep.
smoke bombs, a blowpipe, darts, mines. Okay,
Yeah.
throwing knives, noisemakers, which could
Hmm.
maybe bullshit something for. He's got skill trees that allow you to change the effects for each of his chosen weapons.
Hmm.
Assassin focused, which apparently is similar to other things like Cassandra had with the Spear of Leonidas. And it looks like that's his main stuff.
Rope
Like
dart, which is kind of fun.
rope. Hey, get over here.
Yeah, it was a get over here thing, which is kind of neat.
Oh yeah, we love our get over here's.
Yeah, it was like an early
Uh,
version of it. He can summon an eagle companion and Kidu. But Kidu was also in the previous game.
yeah. Well, not Valhalla, but was in
Oh,
Origins
sorry,
and
in
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also just something that's like a yeah. This is associated with the assassins. This makes sense that they would just be here at the
Fun
very
fact.
least for a taunt.
And also, Enkidu actually would not appear with Basim.
No.
No, because it rejected him later.
Oh,
It sensed a change in him and said, "Nope, I'm out."
interesting.
Hmm.
So at some point they remove. So that kind of makes me wonder, game mechanic wise, what they do. Like, do you not need to do that game mechanic anymore? Is it lost to you? Can you no longer do Eagle Vision? Huh.
Right? Yeah. All right. So these are our two characters,
Mm-hmm.
Basim and Lilith. How does this go now?
So this is you mentioned earlier, just like thinking about rankings. Like there's no ranking here. This is just who would you rather see playable? If you could have one of the two, or if you could only have one of these two become playable in
Okay.
Smash, and the other one had zero chances. You're either adding one to Smash or you're dashing their hopes and dreams.
Okay. For me, I feel like this is a pretty easy choice.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm not sure if you want to go first or
I mean, I think yeah. If you want to go first, go for it.
okay. For me, this is a pretty easy choice. If I was to include an assassin from Assassin's Creed, it's not Basim in any way, shape, or form. He is real low on the ranking for me. If I'm adding an Assassin's Creed character, it's Ezio. And then not Ezio, you're going like I would love Cassandra. Cassandra's awesome. Eivor, awesome. I really enjoyed his name from Origins. Oh God, I don't remember his name. Uh, but then like there's so many. Connor from 3. You could do the one from Black Flag, Edward Kenway, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Um, you have many options. Basim is also kind of on the villain side. Yes and no. He's hero villain. Take it as you want. But he's just, I feel like compared to some of the others, not as interesting to me. Lilith, on the other hand, I think is a way better pick. Her abilities would be way cooler. I think she would bring more draw into the Smash world. Like people would be more interested in playing as her. Sure, an assassin would be cool. People would not be like, "Yeah, Basim, let's go." They'd be like, "Why'd they pick Basim?" But Lilith, I think most people would be like, "Yeah, that's pretty sick." There would be those people who'd be like, "Why didn't you pick Claptrap?" But overall, Lilith they'd still be like, "Oh, cool. Let's say Borderlands, cool," you know. Um, and I just think her abilities would be way better. And I think she'd also have way better odds compared to Basim overall. So if I had to dash someone's hopes, Basim is being dashed, and Lilith is down to. Wait, I'm gonna
Wait.
stop that. I'm gonna stop that line and just say,
But fun story. When we were coming up with the episode types for this podcast, the words of that were like, huh, wait, that
"Yep,
gives me an idea. Change out this word for a different word, and I have a whole concept.
yep,
Like that is what inspired this.
yeah." So I think Lilith would be better in Smash.
Okay. So for me, like you said, there are a lot of assassins, and they all have the same core DNA, literally and figuratively,
Literally, yep,
in
literally.
how they work, and how they function as characters and gameplay wise, mechanically. Most, if not all of them, have Hidden Blade. I'm pretty sure all of them have it. I would hope.
Or a version of it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, there's
pretty
technically
much.
some stuff like I don't know if Yasuke from Shadows has it, but Shadows
That's
also
the
has
only
two
one.
protagonists where one is samurai, one is ninja, and I think the ninja is like more
Hmm.
traditionally the assassin, and
And
Yasuke
that is
is
the only
separate.
one I have not played yet.
Well, you'll get there. We've actually talked about Yasuke a little bit on earlier this season. Wait, did we do two Assassin's Creed characters this season? Well, this was a special case. Fuck it, I don't
So
care.
yeah, so like I've been playing them, I've been trying to catch up, but I also will burn out on them. So like I will
Big
play the
games.
crap out of one, and then I'm like, okay, I have to take a break. I need to play like 20 games in between, and then I'll play another one
Yep. That's the smart way to do it.
because they're very similar
Yeah, and
to an
like you
extent.
said, if I gotta choose, like if this was between Lilith and any assassin, my vote is probably just gonna be any assassin because I think the way that they move and fight would be very fun in Smash
Mm-hmm.
Brothers. Basim
That's it.
would not be my choice. My choice, as you said, Ezio. He's like the assassin.
Yep.
And if I couldn't have Ezio, I'd be like, yeah, Cassandra, because Cassandra's got a lot of cool tools to her, and she's just a fun attitude character.
Mhm.
After that, I wouldn't go Ivor,
Eivor.
Avor. Wrong syllable both times. I could have gone with Ovor. Man, I would have been wrong even more. I actually would probably say Altair after that. Just was like, all right,
Yeah,
here's the original
Altair.
guy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just go classic.
Yeah,
But if you're going
he's very
classic, you're gonna
very
go
vanilla.
Ezio.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ezio is.
Ezio's Altair plus.
Yeah, he's the clear winner if you're picking an assassin.
Yeah,
Like, yes, don't get me wrong. I love Cassandra. I love Eivor. And the other guy's name I'm forgetting. I love them.
Bayek.
They Paya. God, it was bugging me. Um, I liked all of them, but they were more recent games too. Um, some of the
Connor and
ones in the
Edward would
middle,
also really be good, but I kind of feel like they stray a little bit from like the base
yeah,
assassin
he
DNA.
he is a little bit, like more pirate.
Yeah,
Um, but and then you have your Connor, but it's got to be Ezio. If you're gonna pick one of them, it
yeah.
has to be Ezio.
If this was an Assassin's Creed Battle Royale, which is like all the assassins being debated between, Ezio's gonna win.
Oh yeah, hands down. There's no contest.
Yeah, but this is Basim. Basim. Fuck.
Basim.
Basim.
There you
Damn
go.
it.
Like
Versus
sheep, and
Lilith.
then Sims game,
Oh, Sim Games, man.
but Ba like sheep, and then Sims game.
Ba like bye bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. Lilith. My only problem with Lilith is just like, as you know, we discussed, I'm not a shooter person, and
Right.
guns just don't excite me. And in terms of Smash, they actually any character that uses guns and gets into Smash, they try to avoid the guns as much as possible. Snake doesn't use guns. Bayonetta for her weird attack, her smash attacks, or some of her normals or something, she uses the guns that are on her feet, but she doesn't like hold guns normally and shoot them. Joker from Persona, as the old meme goes, for his neutral special, he uses a gun. But it's technically a model gun that people just think is real, and it more shoots out magic bullets than regular bullets. Smash and Nintendo have a thing with their bullets. And Bayonetta's guns, I think, are also technically quote unquote magical bullets. I think I don't know for sure. So Lilith, would they even give her a gun, or would they instead do like an explosive? Because that they have no problem with. Again, look at Snake. And I think if they were to go with her and do guns, I think they would, and like I think the way they would try to like go around it is the elemental stuff.
Mhm.
I think that way there's not just bullets they're shooting. Like, oh, it's a slag bullet.
Right.
Okay. And even though I think like slag was introduced in two, but considering she is
Yes.
story wise in two, I don't think it matters. I think they could still
Mm-mm.
do that. I think Slag is the one I'm thinking of.
Like
I'm
the
trying to
purple
remember what
one.
that one does. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it
It pretty much
does.
weaken. Like you take more damage when you get hit again.
Yes, which is a mechanic I think could work very well. I mean, the Inklings already have that with their ink mechanic, so easy to do that. She has her siren abilities. She's got 3 skill trees worth of things that you can look at. Uh,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on there, and attitude wise, I think she's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I think I was going to say Siren. Lilith I think is like the clear choice. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Basim, there are other assassins to choose between, but while there are other sirens in Borderlands, none of them are as important as Lilith. None of them have the same abilities as Lilith. There is no other player character, period, across Borderlands that is more important as a character than Lilith. Yes, Claptrap is a playable character, but is he important compared to Lilith? No. He's just the goofball that you wish that you could dismantle permanently.
Right.
Unfortunately for
Uh,
us, we can't. In fact, we have to help repair him at times.
and technically, that claptrap that you can play as
Isn't the
in
same one?
the pre-sequel is not the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I got to give it to Lilith on this one. I think she's our winner.
I agree. Lilith is taking over Basim, and she will be participating in the Tournament of Champions at the end of the season.
Yay!
Now, this next matchup is a little bit sillier. I kind of know one thing. I've watched it be streamed both by you and a couple other people, and it's like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I would consider playing it, but I also kind of feel like I've seen enough of it just from watching other people that I don't feel like there's an excitement for me. But the concept's still interesting, and that is the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb.
All right. Cult of the Lamb. Love this little guy. Uh, you get this cutesy little character. Apparently, I have learned today that the community calls him Lambert. I did not know that. Lambert is his like community name, but not his actual name. The Lamb is, I think, the official. Um,
There's also the
but
Goat, which is your player too if you're doing multiplayer.
I've not played the multiplayer. But I do know I think I will be playing it at some point soon with the girlfriend who really wants to play.
Oh, okay.
Because she has been watching my series on it and she goes, I love that game. I'm like, there's a chance. So and there's been a bunch of updates since then, so I would totally.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much you are a lamb about to be sacrificed, and then there's a god that intervenes and says, "Hey, work for me, and I will give you power."
Okay.
And so you say okay. And then you become this pretty much cult leader. And you get all these cool powers. And you get followers. And the more followers you have, the more power you get. And pretty much like that. And of course, then that god gets the powers too. And so, yeah, you just kind of like grow from there. And it's kind of almost like a little bit of a city builder. But it's also a dungeon crawler at the same time. So yeah, it is really fun. It is a really fun game. And the cutesy style, and then it's like, oh, this is so cute. And then they get brutally murdered or sacrificed. You're like, oh, that's dark. And the fact that you can name your you can have people, at least with Twitch, you could have your followers join in and be your cult members, which was a lot of fun.
Your followers.
Yeah, which was a really great idea for them, and it was, I think, it helped.
I think that is like a huge portion of why the game succeeded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be the tough part if I wanted to do it again. I'm not sure how many people would, be down to watch again, but
and that's the tough part for me on by like thinking about streaming is like I don't have a large dedicated follower base. So it'd be like, all right, I got like Azza, and then you would pop in just to have a character in there. And then it'd be like, all right, that's pretty much gonna be all of them. Might be a couple other people just like see it and just try to join. But largely like I don't have followers that are there all the time, so it doesn't feel as interesting to me, sadly.
Mm-hmm. Smash odds. He has tons of powers. You could do. He's got slashing attacks for different weapons. He has tarot cards. He has powers from the one who waits. So he could do a lot of different abilities. Like you could run with him for a bunch of different things. Which would be, I think, pretty cool.
Vomit attack.
So,
a vomiting attack.
Yeah.
There's a vomit animation after you eat a bad meal.
Yeah, or you eat poop. Yeah. There's so many, I think, abilities that you could play with here, and I mean, he does have his own little dungeon crawler, so he does have stuff. And I remember I'm trying to remember. It's been a little bit since I played it, but I know you have like a sword or some sort that you can change up, and then you also have some sort of magic attacks that I can't remember quite well. And then he also comes with his own costumes. Like he already has different fleeces. That would be his alternate characters / or the apparently the new one from the DLC. So.
I feel like they would probably do like a split of costumes, 5 being the lamb, or 4 being the lamb rather, 4 being the goat, and what their outfits are. Because since there's borderline the same model, it'd be really easy to just have a model swap.
Oh yeah.
The lamb's opponent, however, also has a title to their name, but they also have a name to their title. In this game, I know you enjoy. You recorded it as well. It's on the YouTube. I don't know shit about this, and Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver. I loved this game too. Both these games were fantastic. Dave the Diver, definitely a different style. And you play as Dave, and he is a diver, and he goes searching for fish, and pretty much he's getting fish for a sushi restaurant.
Hmm.
Now, normally, be like, this sounds, like, okay, it's a game. However, there is story somehow in this game. And the characters that you meet, including Dave, Cobra, Bancho, Udo, Dr. Bacon, like and they all just are so kooky that you like the cutscenes you get for being kind of like that 2D art style game, the bit style, I mean, like the way they do it is just so extra, and it's so funny, and it's one of those games that you don't expect to be like very good and is great. And as you're playing, you're like, oh, okay, you keep wanting to go farther down, farther down. You want to get all the fish. You want to make all the sushis, because not only after you fish, and you bring the sushi back, then you run the restaurant. So you actually like, it's kind of there's
Little
multiple
Dragon's
parts to
Cafe.
this game. Kinda. Yeah, so like there's the diving aspect of it, there's the story aspect of it, there's running the sushi restaurant. Then they added like a little farming area and a little like fish farming area. And so like they kind of added all these little parts of games that worked well together. Um so overall, and the game did very well. And kind of similar to Cult of Lamb, I feel like they both did probably equally as well. Um, so when it comes to things for him, fighting style, being a Smash character, he could do stuff with his harpoons. He does have a gun as well, but he has nets. He has um, a whole bunch of different equipment that he could use. Um, he does have mines. I'm trying to think of what else he has that he could do. Um, yeah, there's a few different things that he could attempt for fighting. The weird thing would be he'd be on land, so would be a little odd for him, and he's not the fittest of characters to be a big fighter. He's kind of for a diver, oddly body shaped, but I think that also adds to his like lovability. So yeah, it's kind of what I got on Dave.
All right. So I'm looking at both these characters here, and like things that they have, things that they can do. And the lamb, like as we know, the lamb there's a variety of weapons in the bullet hell kind of roguelike ish mode that you have, which is where your story takes place. You got heavy attacks you can do with a bunch of different weapons. You've got swords, axes, daggers, gauntlets, hammers, blunderbusses, flails, shields, and some legendary weapons that look like they're basically just like the strongest version of each of those type. I would assume probably pulled from like different gods. I'm guessing on here. That could kind of be like maybe there's like could be an upgrade system, or maybe in the final Smash, he brings out the godly weapons instead of the basic ones to go for a whole thing. But I also kind of feel like the final Smash is going to be sacrificing somebody to their god. That just seems like the choice. Seems kind of obvious to me. I don't know about you. But there's a variety of weapons that you could have just for different attacks, whether there's smash attacks, aerials, special moves, what have you. There's also the curses that you could play around with to do different kind of attacks. There's fireballs, there's ice attacks, there's blights, different things you can add on to your slashing attacks. Throwing out Ichor onto the field sounds horrifying. You could also kind of play with maybe. the tarot cards, like they could do like maybe a down specials, like you just draw a random effect and it just gets applied. Uh, Blazing Trail, you could literally would run into an opponent and they would just take damage upon you smacking into them just by movement. There is trying to look at some of these other ones that could actually be converted. Retribution. If you get hit in the next 5 seconds, you just drop a bomb to explode and hit the enemy. That's something that could be pretty interesting as an effect. There are a fuck ton of tarot cards. Holy shit, there's 85. Although some of these definitely are not in the main game, I can tell, because I'm pretty sure the Joker might be. Well, actually, is it? Okay, yeah, it was not in the original release, but it was made as a reference to Balatro. But it did not come from a Balatro crossover. That's why I checked. So I know Dave the Diver did do a Balatro crossover.
They did it. So I feel like I've seen more crossover with Dave the Diver.
Oh yeah,
Dave the Diver has actually done quite a few crossovers. Yakuza,
with some musicians even.
yeah, some musicians. Yakuza. There's been crossover with Balatro. There's a whole thing with Balatro. That was how I learned of Balatro, was Dave the Diver. I had not heard of it until Dave the Diver.
Balatro has had a
Uh,
good amount of crossovers.
Dredge, Godzilla. So there's been quite a few with Dave.
Mm-hmm. And then you can also maybe possibly look at I don't know how well it would work, but using the powers, using the effects of like you can get from Twitch chat. Maybe there's some way that like some of those could be converted into a Smash mechanic. I don't really
Ooh.
know. You could also do like you know how Peach will pull out Toad to protect her from an
Mhm.
attack? Yeah, what if the lamp pulled out one of its followers?
That's amazing. I love that idea.
That'd be really funny.
It'd just be called Sacrifice.
Yeah, and then they would die on it from no matter what the attack was, they
Right.
die in his hands.
Yeah, head
It's
falls
like,
off. Yeah.
meh, throws
Yep.
them away. Don't need you anymore. Thanks.
Yep.
And then Dave the Diver has a lot of equipment as well to him that I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
at
was
here.
just
Like,
looking at it. Some of the main ones would be like his knife, dive knife. He's got a baseball bat, rubber chicken. I mean, that'd be fun. He's picked up like a sleepy toy hammer, shock bang stick, just like a shock stick. Sea snake whip. He could just have a frozen cod he uses.
that'd be funny.
And there's a few other like
Big
bigger
ol'
ones that are
anchor.
harder to
Wait,
find. But
is
yeah,
that? Oh, it
Mjolnir?
is. I saw Maze Anchor. I was like, is that the Guilty Gear character? And yeah, it's
Oh, maybe.
from Guilty Gear.
Yeah, and then he's got like net guns, sticky bomb guns, so other type of weapons like that as well, that he could do. Plus, there's some that aren't listed, like he can summon some like drones to come down and pick fish up and stuff like that, which could be like his up special.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, he's got a few options.
Yeah. The crab trap, he could set it down and just crabs could come out of it and just wander around as a little trap. Or they'll just like,
Yep.
or kind of like Bowser Jr.'s Mecha Koopa. Crab comes out of trap and just like travels down a line or just like along the platform until it hits somebody.
Mhm.
There's some options with both these characters. And sometimes that's really fun is when you have two characters with a lot of options, those are just like weird options.
Right.
It's like, oh,
They're both weird.
that it's like it's not just like okay, gun guy or gun guy. What do they have that's like a little bit unique from each other besides just guns and knives? No, these two like yeah, sure they have knives and guns. Technically, sort of for Cult of the Lamb, it's magic, but let's be honest, it's projectile. They have weird to them as well, and that's
Hmm.
where the fun is for both of them.
Yeah, I think they both would be fun characters to have.
Hmm.
Now we have to pick though.
We do. I like both these for again
Different
like
reasons.
for their weird potentials.
Yeah.
Like harpoon gun sounds like it has some fun, interesting stuff. The
Mhm.
net, the crab trap. Honestly, throwing out a frozen cod. I mean, yeah, that's just funny.
Right.
Why not smack somebody
Rubber
with a cod?
chicken. Yeah.
And then the lamb with trying to do something with like the followers or the different curse abilities, the tarot cards, the RNG literature cards. I like my RNG mechanics with some things. That's interesting to me as well.
Yeah, as we've kind of been going through it, I kind of was really when you first gave me the characters, I was like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, as we talked about it, I kind of now I do lean one way
Mm-hmm.
for this. But I'm curious actually your thoughts first this time.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't be.
Haha.
Uh Gosh. Like I know the Lamb better than I know Dave because obviously I've watched you stream some of Cult of Lamb and I watched a couple other people stream part of Cult of Lamb, including again Roboaza, who did it for their I think it was like their Twitch anniversary or some event they did it for. I kind of feel it's hard to think about like if I could concept like if I took like a day to think about conceptually how they would work and like take all their shit and put it into a move set, I think it'd be very fun. I just don't know how that would look right now. Like I feel like you got to have some kind of curse, whether it's the boring fireball or something more interesting that's like fireball esque. Like Strike of the Crown is technically fireball esque. It's another projectile attack. Or do something like Divine Blight that can push people back and poison them. Ichor Throne, where you just like throw out this black mass with red eyeballs. That's a more interesting fireball, but it's still arguably a fireball. There's tentacle attacks that you can spawn on the ground. That's different. And then there's Dave. Again with like the net gun, like you could keep somebody trapped for like a brief second. A second is sometimes all you need. He's got grenade launch. He's got the sticky bomb, which is interesting. Ice gun. You'd have to have the harpoon gun in there. It wouldn't pull anybody back like a to get over here, but just like a here. I just shot you with a fucking harpoon. Bet that fucking hurts. And he's got some melee options. Sleepy Toy Hammer, the tennis racket. Again, I feel like you got to do either the frozen cog or the sea snake whip. You gotta like what hit people with fish is funny. I don't think you would do anything that was a crossover thing. So like you're not gonna have Maze Anchor, unfortunately. You're not gonna have Jumbo's coin because those aren't. While they are part of Dave the Diver, they are also legally speaking in touch with other things. Kingdom Hearts. We're not gonna see anything Disney in Smash. I could honestly go either or with these. I do have a lean, and I think that lean is more because of humor. Because one of these would bring more humor to me than the other. Well, actually, oof. I don't know which one would bring in more humor, and then I didn't really think about it. Because
They both would be
they both have the
good.
potential not only for what they do, but in how they move, how they animate. That would
Hmm.
be very fun to just watch these people move around and jump and have their taunt animations.
Do you want me to go?
Say you don't have to like say who you're picking, but like give me some of your thoughts.
For me, it does have to do with a lot of how I think they would move. Uh, so I think one of them would flow easier into Smash than the other. And the different abilities, I like the both abilities could be kind of fun. And they both would be different types of characters, which would be neat. Um, I do just see one working a bit better in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And still, you're still going to hit a lot. And I like both of them as options. I like them both as possible things into Smash. Uh, but yeah, I just see one working a little bit better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think could have better move sets.
My current lean is actually Dave the Diver.
Interesting.
I look at this large man in this diving suit. I'm just like seeing you walk around, seeing you fly through the air, seeing you hit somebody with a frozen cod. This is very interesting to me.
I lean the opposite. I lean Cult of the Lamb. I lean the Lamb. Mostly because Dave on land, actually and in the water, he's super slow. He
Mm-hmm.
is a very slow person. Like when you're running the restaurant, he does not move at all. He is he's and I think that's part of the joke for him is that he is not a fast dude. He is slow. Like that's something you have to get, kind of deal with him. Uh, I think the lamb would translate better over to Smash and would have way more fun abilities. I do think the gimmicks for Dave would be interesting because they would be sillier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't get me wrong, I like both of these games a lot. Um, the fact they both, I would say, would rank pretty high on my list overall of games. Um, yeah, I just see Cult of the Lamb being a little more viable, especially because Dave's whole thing that makes him interesting is that he is a diver in the water, and then like having him be up on the land, I think would actually kind of kill his character a little.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it would just add. I don't know. I just don't. I have a harder time picturing him out of the water trying to be like moving around like a Smash character does.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't fit as well for me.
It,
Whereas the
it, it runs
lamb,
counter
no
to
problem.
like how he would be on land in this game. Like even when it's like Smash, sometimes you have to make concessions for things like height.
Right,
Olimar should be the size of Mario's toe, if anything.
right,
But with that, it's like sometimes it is hard to be like, but you shouldn't be this agile. There are characters that are slow in Smash. Day to Day is also a big fat penguin.
right,
Bowser's a big boy, but
right. But they also have that power behind them.
mhm.
Dave is not mighty. he is. He's just kind of your average bloke. But even then, I wouldn't call him strong, um, or agile. I would not call him a fighter in any sense of the word,
Mhm.
which I think kills him for me.
Okay.
Um, for Smash, I would love to see him in other things or things get brought to him in his environment. I think, would just have a harder time going to other environments.
Mm. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I think my vote goes to the lamb. I would love them both, but the lamb just I just lean a bit as we talked about it more and more. At first, I was like, it could go either way. Then, as we talked about it more and more, and I thought about them, I go lamb.
Okay. I mean, they both have good things to them. They both are interesting. Uh, Liam's got all the various weapons. He's got the curses. The potential of any of the Twitch abilities, which I don't really know what you could do besides, hey, look, poop falls. There you go. Poop falls next to him for a taunt, and he can eat it and then throw up. I don't know, man. Maybe that's a victory animation. He tries to celebrate with a meal, and it just does not go well. Poor guy. But Lamb's definitely got a lot of interesting things. Like I saw this thing. I saw it's like all of his weapons, all his tools, apparently are all his crown. The crown transforms
Mm-hmm.
into all of
Yep,
that.
yep, into his weapons and stuff.
So that's kind
Because
of
that's the
interesting to me.
power. That's the power from the god. Is the crown. The
Hmm.
crown is his power.
Right. I definitely like there is a lot of interesting going on with the lamb. Uh, you can do a lot of stuff. Oh, what's this? What does it say in the Twitch integration? Does it say like what the different powers are? Oh, it really doesn't. Great,
I
thanks,
don't. I don't
Wiki.
remember.
You don't
Yeah.
help me at all. Humph. That's annoying. But oh well. Oh, they did a cross with Don't Starve together.
Cult of the Lamb did.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe it.
one of their major updates was Don't Starve together cross Cult of the Lamb.
Hmm.
That makes sense actually. Oh, that's where the spider comes from. It's Weber from Don't Starve. That's where the spider
Really?
follower design comes from. Yeah.
I thought Weber was older than Cult of the Lamb.
Well, yeah.
Oh, they've added Weber into Cult of the Lamb, you're saying. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
said the
One
other
of
way
the
around.
follower designs is based off of Weber.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting. I was not aware they did a crossover. But yeah, between the two, like I said, I could go either way. I had a lean towards Dave, largely because I was thinking I would like to see this man funnily flopping his feet around off the stage, jumping, punching people. But if he is slow as molasses on land, I can definitely see the the breaking of the suspension of belief, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
sir, you should not be moving this way. This takes me out of it. I definitely do
Mm-hmm.
see that as an issue.
Whereas, like, Ganondorf is slow, but he's powerful.
Yeah,
He makes sense to be that slow. King DDD, kind of same thing. He's strong
and
to
that's
help
usually
him
how it
get through that.
goes. Characters that are slower typically have more power behind them because you need that balancing act. I mean, I'm good to say the lamb.
Yeah, like, it just makes the most sense to me. Um, I don't get me wrong, I love Dave the Diver. That game is great. I love it.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to actually go back into it at some point and redo that game. Because I enjoyed it that much. Same with Cult of the Lamb. But yeah, so I would I'd be down for Lamb taking the win on this one.
Well, there it is then. The lamb is our second winner of today's episode, right alongside Lilith. So the two of them will be heading on to the Tournament of Champions together at the end of the season, where they'll be joining a tournament bracket of characters. Which one will turn out to be our most wanted character of the season? I mean, we're only halfway through the season, so I don't fucking know. There are some options this year. Some that I definitely don't think will make it, but there are some options. And with that, that is an episode of Wayofftrail. Thank you once again for coming in to fill in for my co-host who has a very busy life. I'm sure I'll be able to rope you in at some point again in the future, and we'll include some other characters. I don't know who. Looking at your background here, maybe Cyrus. We'll talk about Cyrus from Animal Crossing.
Oh, right there.
Yeah,
Who else do I got? There's possibilities in here. I mean, we got Mimikyu. Whoop, this way.
we have not actually talked about Mimikyu yet. Strangely
Mimikyu.
enough,
No Face from. Oh, keep going this way. Right
that's
here.
not a video game character. That
Not a video
is.
game character, but you know.
Mm,
Alien. He was in a video game once.
yeah, I don't think Alien writes that same gray line. That, yeah, I don't know about that one.
He was in one once. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But what I do know is that next time on Supercast Brothers, hopefully Jonno is back and we're able to do our on topic with him, because the next on topic is a special one. Our next on topic is releasing per the normal schedule on June 6th. Do you know what happened last year on June 5th?
No.
The Switch 2 released.
Oh, snap.
So, next on topic, Switch 2, a year in review.
Ooh. And I still don't want to buy it because it's expensive.
Well, the price is going up in a few months, so if you have an interest,
Uh-huh.
do it now. All the consoles are going up because AI is buying up all the chips. Thanks, AI. We totally wanted you. Bitch. Anywho, that's an episode. We'll see you all in another one. Hopefully, maybe you decide this is the last one you'll ever want to watch because you don't like that I talk shit on AI. I don't know. Bye.
Bye, everybody.